Welcome to the Women's Motorsports Network podcast, the show that puts the spotlight on the incredible women who fuel the world of motorsports. From drivers to crew members, engineers to fans, and everyone in between, we're here to celebrate the trailblazers, dreamers, and doers shaping the sport we love. Each episode, we share inspiring stories of females of all ages from every corner of the motorsports universe, past, present, and future. It's a journey through the seasons of life filled with heartfelt moments, laughter, and a whole lot of horsepower. So whether you're a lifelong fan, a racer yourself, or simply curious about the extraordinary women behind the wheel, settle in, relax, and enjoy a fun and uplifting ride with us. This is the Women's Motorsports Network podcast, connecting and celebrating women in motorsports, one story at a time. Let's hit the track. Hello, this is Melinda Russell with the Women's Motorsports Network podcast. And Mckaylee is my guest today. So Mckaylee, welcome to the show. And first, I want to start by having you share a little bit about yourself.
I am 21 years old, and I like to be active and go outdoors and travel and stuff. And I am the youngest in my family, and I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay. And do they all still live at home or just you?
Just I do. Well, okay. I did. I don't live at home anymore, but.
All right. And do you have any pets?
I have 2 dogs.
Okay. All right. We love our dogs, don't we? So many people I talk to have dogs. It just amazes me, but that's awesome. So you're 21 years old. Do you go to school? Do you work? What do you do when you're not racing?
I work. I actually work for Amsoil, and I work for my boyfriend's business. He owns a construction company.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So tell me your motorsports story. How did you get started? And take me back to the beginning. When did you first get introduced to motorsports, and take me to where you are today?
So I first started when I was 5 years old, and it was actually a family friend that my mom knew. His son did it, and then my dad saw like what he did and stuff, and he got interested into it. So then he bought me a snowmobile, and then it just went from there.
Yeah. So it gets in your blood, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So how long ago was that you got started?
I was 5, so I'm 21 now, probably.
Okay. So when you started at 5 years old, you weren't driving what you drive now. So kind of take me down the path. What all have you raced?
So I raced a 120, and then I raced a 120 champ, and then a 500, and then now I'm on 600s.
Okay. All right. And where do you race? Do you travel? Are you in a series? Tell me about where you race.
So I raced the Amsoil Championship Snowcross Series, which that is traveling all over for where they are located. And then I also raced the Hartford Snowcross Series, so that's just in Hartford, Wisconsin. And then sometimes I'll do other regionals that are located in like Michigan or Minnesota or random spots.
Okay. So you're all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so are you racing this weekend?
Yes, I am. I'm actually going to New York this weekend for Amsoil.
Okay. All right. So that has to be like a national race, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So what keeps you going, traveling, and doing all this, Mckaylee? What do you love about all of this racing deal?
Honestly, I just love doing it, and I've always done it. So I don't know. It's just kind of fun for me to do, and I just like doing it. So until I get sick of it, I guess I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And were your parents, did they encourage you to do it when you were young?
My dad always has. My mom was iffy about it back and forth. But yeah, mainly it's just my dad now that supports me in doing it.
Yeah.
And like friends and family and like my boyfriend and my dad's new wife. So
Okay. Moms have a harder time watching their little girls race, I think. So that's different. Yeah. So what's your favorite thing about it?
Honestly, it's probably the traveling and going into different states and doing it, but sometimes it's also not the traveling. So I would say it's between traveling and just what it is, like what you do and how it is and everything.
Yeah, the whole experience.
Yeah.
The people, the going fast, the
Hmm.
jumps, all of it put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, what are some things that maybe you've started at a young age? So, what are some things that you've learned maybe about life by being involved in motorsports that maybe you wouldn't have learned already so far?
Um, it's kind of a hard question.
Well, or what are some things that, you feel like maybe you got better at because of motorsports? Like a lot of times it's confidence or it's patience, you
Yeah,
know.
probably. I'd say probably like confidence and stuff like that, or being more aggressive, in like not in like a personality way of being more aggressive, just like being more aggressive like in the sport and obviously knowing more stuff than like some people would about like a snowmobile versus like just a random other person. I feel like is something else that I've also learned from it too.
Yeah. And the traveling and all the meeting people, if you're if as a person, if you're not involved in those kind of things, there's a lot to learn about
Mm,
traveling, not
yeah.
getting upset and things like that. And so I just think it gives especially younger girls an all around good experience of life lessons is what I like to call them for sure.
Yes.
So if
It
somebody,
is hard with school though. Like when I was in school, it was hard because they would end up getting like mad of how many days you miss because of how much you have to travel. So that was
yeah,
always the thing.
yeah, and you went to a regular school, not homeschooled.
Yeah, I went to a regular school all the way up until freshman year. And then sophomore year, I did online. And from there, I just did sophomore and junior year in online. And then I ended up graduating in junior year, like a whole year early because of online school. I just was able to get everything done right away.
Yeah, that's good. That's good for sure. So if I Googled you, would there be anything that I would learn about you that most people don't know?
Um, you would probably see a lot of snowcross stuff is about it. I don't know. I've never really Googled myself, but
Yeah,
I
I
feel
have.
like snowcross stuff.
When you went to school and you were racing, did your friends understand it? Did they know about it? Did they come and watch any of that?
A lot of them knew about it, but they didn't really understand it. Obviously, you're not going to understand everything to do with racing if you're just like not there involved. But a few of them would come and watch here and there, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
It's hard to explain it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I always explain it that it's just like motocross, but with a snowmobile on snow. But then you gotta try to like explain like, oh, you have practice, and then you'll do heat one, heat two, and then there might be an LCQ if there's over a certain amount of people, and then there's a final.
Yeah.
And it's just some of them just didn't really understand that or how you would like qualify for a final. So if you went like 1-1, you would obviously get first pick on the final, but a lot of them like really wouldn't understand that either.
Yeah. And it is, I get it. It's hard to understand if you haven't really ever seen it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. So when you're not racing, what's your favorite thing to do when you're not at the track or racing?
I'm honestly probably hang out with like my dogs and friends and family, and I like to travel, but obviously during snowcross that's a little hard because it is so expensive that you can't just go and travel.
Yeah.
But yeah, just mainly hanging out with friends, family, and like my pets, obviously.
Okay. So what are you most proud of as far as your racing or maybe your favorite memory, something along that line?
Mm, definitely the national podiums that I've gotten. It's not been as many as I would like, but definitely that and winning like championships throughout the years of snowcross and stuff and all the trophies that I have. They're all around my room, or they're in big boxes just full, or we have a basement at my dad's house, so there's like a railing that goes down all the way down it. It's like a wall type of thing, and we have just trophies all lined up throughout it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, those trophies. And one day, Mckaylee, I promise you, you're going to look at them and you're going to be like, okay, I'm keeping this one. I'm throwing this one away. So my daughter's played a lot of Gus Macker basketball in the summer, and it's like a series that travels, and you go to different towns if you want. And anyway, they were pretty successful. Both of my girls had different teams, and they were pretty successful. And we had so many Gus Macker trophies for winning and sportsmanship and all these different things. And I finally, my daughters grew up, and I said, "What do you want to do with these?" And they're like, "Just throw them away." And I was thinking they were so proud of them when they got them. But I mean, what are you going to, after a while, you have to do something with them. So as long as your dad's happy to keep them for you, then that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So who helps you with your, do you call it a sled, a snowmobile? What do you call it?
We call it a sled.
Okay. Who helps you with it? Who maintains it and helps you keep it up to, so that it's in good racing condition?
So there's a handful of people, not like a handful, there's a few. So it's my boyfriend and I, we like keep it maintained throughout like the weeks and stuff in between the races. And obviously my dad will help too. And during the weekends, my dad also helps. And then sometimes we'll send it off to like our mechanic. His name is Mike, and I'll send it to him and he'll fully go through it before the year starts and stuff to make sure everything's good. But yeah.
Yeah. So you have help. And do you work on it at all ever, or does Mike do it?
I work on it here and there, but when it gets sent down to him before and after the season starts, it's just him. But like through the weeks, us having it in between the races, I'll do stuff here and there, but mainly it's just like my boyfriend or my dad.
Okay. All right. So on a day when things maybe haven't gone very well at the race, how do you handle that? What do you do? How do you, overcome that?
I mean, I'll get upset obviously and mad, but I'll just say there's nothing I can do about it, so I just gotta move on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard, That's one of the things I think that girls and well, boys learn it too, but we're talking about women in motorsports learn is how to deal with adversity, how to overcome it, how to put it at the back of your mind, how not to think about it when you get back on the track for the next race, all those things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me have you ever had a wreck or an accident, a flip, anything like that? Or have you maintained pretty steady course?
Yeah, there's been plenty of times where I've crashed or fallen off or flipped the sled and stuff like that. And actually, last year I actually broke my foot racing snowcross, so I was out for the rest of the season, and then I had to get 3 surgeries just to even fix that. So
Yeah, that stinks.
yeah, it does. It was a long, long recovery time.
Yeah. And is everything better, back together now and good to go?
Yeah, it's good to go now. It wasn't a few months ago, but it was just because that was so fresh out of
Yeah.
surgery and stuff like that. But
I mean, that's pretty typical when I talk to someone either in a car or a motorcycle or whatever. I don't think I've ever spoken to anybody that hasn't had some kind of accident or a flip or something, and it's just part of it, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, it is. It sucks, but
Yeah. So, what kind of condition do you have to stay in order to handle that sled? Because I would think they'd be pretty heavy.
yeah, they are pretty heavy. I don't know how much they weigh exactly, but you just basically gotta like stay in shape somewhat. I mean, obviously I work out and stuff, but you just gotta stay in shape enough that you're able to hang on or move it if you need to or start it and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I would think that would be the hardest part is the weight of it and trying to manage it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do your arms get sore, your legs? What's the hardest part of your body?
It's honestly probably my back, to be honest. It gets
Okay.
sore a lot. Other than that, no, nothing really. I mean, sometimes it is your arms, your legs here and there if you hit something wrong or like crash or something, but mainly you just are in good enough shape already that you really won't get that sore in those areas, but sometimes you will get like arm pump and stuff.
Okay. To me it's so I have a bad back and I just had back surgery in January, and so I'm still recovering from that. And so thinking about doing that is, yeah, that wouldn't be my thing for sure, but I also think was thinking it maybe it would make your arms and your shoulders,
Yeah,
sore from hanging
it
on.
definitely can.
Yeah. So when people come to the races, do a lot of, I know you race against the same people over and over, but do you have like fans that come and show up, or do you have like little girls that come and want to talk to you, get your autograph, anything like that along the fan people?
Fans are mainly just people that I know that will show up, but every once in a while, here or there, a little kid will come up to you and ask for like a signature or want to say hi or stuff like that. So,
Yeah. Is that pretty cool?
yeah, it's pretty cool, but a lot of them get like scared if you're fully suited up, like with
Oh,
your helmet and stuff on and goggles. They'll like have to have their parents bring them up to you, and then their parents will be like, "Oh, they wanted to say hi," and you say hi, and they kind of just like back up a little bit.
yeah.
It's kind of funny, but
It's
yeah.
kind of like when little ones see Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. They're not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you have sponsors, Mckaylee? And if so, are you the one that talks to them? Your dad? How do you get sponsors?
Mainly I ask for sponsors, but this year I'm on a team which is called Green Mountain Racing. So I have all of his sponsors plus some of my own, but with those he talks to them and gets them, but with any sponsors that I have by myself, I normally like get a hold of them and talk to them and stuff like that.
Okay. As you've gotten older, has it gotten easier for you to call or talk to people?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely gotten easier just because like you know what to kind of say and what to expect, and obviously like you have to give them a resume, so like it's just a lot easier the more that you have on the resume and the more like points like you have like towards like championships and stuff. Like if you have a lot of first place like championships or a lot of podiums and stuff like that is easy. And like you also have to stay pretty active on social media. Like you got to post like updates and stuff throughout the weekend and obviously tag them. So if you do that, it's pretty easy to get them for like the next season and stuff.
Yeah. So, Kaylee, tell me, how do you use social media? What platforms do you use, and how do you use it? What do you post?
So I use Facebook and Instagram and I just post updates throughout the season. So it's like just pictures of me racing and like where I raced and stuff and like the results and what I got.
Okay. And then I know we talked earlier about that you share too, and tag your sponsors, and I'm sure they appreciate that.
Yes, yes, they do.
Yeah, for sure. So when do you think about, or do you think about the fact that you're a brand? Have you tried to create a brand for yourself as far as in the racing community?
Yeah. So a brand like, do you mean like sweatshirts and stuff like that and
Well,
shirts or?
yeah, that, and like, when people think about you, like you say, like Women Motorsports is my brand. And so your brand would be Mckaylee Meyerhofer Racing. And so, yeah, you have shirts and you do the social media and you promote yourself as more maybe than just a racer. I'm a racer, I do this, and share about your life and stuff so that people can get interested in you and follow you. Do you do, that kind of thing?
Mainly I just share about racing, to be honest, nothing else really about my life. And then I did sell sweatshirts and shirts at one point, but I only did it one time, 1 year, and that was about it.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So, do you ever, when you get ready to race, do you ever have that little bit of doubt creep in, like, oh, I don't know, that I haven't ever done well at this track, or whatever it might be? Does that little doubt person sit on your shoulder, or are you able to pretty much just block all that out?
Yeah, sometimes it does. It like I'll be like, oh, like that looks hard, or that looks really like sketchy, like that looks like a sketchy jump. Sometimes I'll think about it, but then like I'll like see somebody else do it, or I'll like just say, well, I can do it. So sometimes you do second guess yourself. Well, I do second guess myself, but I normally get over it pretty quick.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, especially I think if you maybe had a hard time at a certain track, and then if you can get that little confidence to come back, and you can be like, you know what, that was just one time. I know I can do better this time. Then sometimes you can overcome all of that, before you even start the race. So that's important, I think, for sure. When you take the helmet off and you're done with the race, what what are the things that go through your mind? Are you thinking about the race that you just had? Are you relaxed and ready to move on and do something else? What does it look like once you're done with a race?
Yeah, so obviously I think about it and think about the race, and normally my dad is always watching, so like he'll like give me pointers or tell me what I should try to do to like get either faster or better in like a certain area. So like I'll just think about that and stuff. Now, honestly, just think about the entire thing and think about how I can like better it for the next time.
Yeah. And there's always things. I don't care what you do in life, there's always things that you can do to improve. And so, is your dad a good coach? Is he helpful? Some dads are hard on their daughters. How's your dad?
Sometimes he's hard, sometimes he's helpful, but it really just depends on the situation and what it is, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen dads. I think they. In fact, my son-in-law, he was hard on my granddaughter one night at a race, and she started to cry, which made Mama not very happy. And so I walked over to him and I said, Bob, when racing is not fun anymore, then we need to stop. And that's all I had to say. And he kind of, it's just that he knew she could do better. And so I think that's where dads are coming from. They know you can do better and they want you to do that. And so sometimes they're a little hard on you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So do you think racing in general, snowcross, driving a sled, is that a good sport for a woman to get involved in?
Personally, I think so if you like that type of stuff, but obviously it's not for everybody. But I mean, if you're into that type of stuff, then yeah.
Yeah. If you like to go fast and take some chances, it's a good sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself in the next, let's say, 5 years? Do you want to keep racing?
I want to keep racing. I don't know if I'll keep racing for 5 years, but obviously I want to race for a couple more years, but I guess we'll just see where it goes.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. And then racing's on Flow. I know that, right? Your races
Yeah.
you're in New York, you'll be on Flow Racing. What days will you be racing this weekend?
Friday and Saturday is when we race.
All right. So if anybody wants to watch, they can get on Flow Racing, and it'll show you right where that's at, and they can watch it and cheer you on for sure. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that we should have? Because there's so much to your story, Mckaylee. I feel like I'm missing something.
I don't really think so. I mean, obviously it takes a lot to do it and it is costly and stuff, but I mean, it's more so just the fun out of it and what you get to experience doing it. I mean, you don't really ever get that much in return from it unless like you are winning, then you do get like money for winning and stuff. But I mean, I guess trophies, but so it's really not like it is a good sport to do, but it's also not a sport that's like really like 100% worth it, I'd say. But I mean, I like doing it. look forward to it every single year and like the experience, but that's just me. So,
Well, and it's not a hobby really, but yet anything that we do that's not necessarily a job, like I like to craft and do different things. It's not necessarily something that is going to pay me to do, but it's something I enjoy and that I like doing, and that's kind of the same for you. You know, you're not going to be a world renowned sled racer because that's just not a thing. But the fact that you're enjoying it, you're doing it with your family, you're making memories, those things are all important.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll give you anything else you want to share before we hang up?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Well, you hang on here just for a second and then we'll talk.
Okay.
That's it for this episode of the Women's Motorsports Network podcast. We hope you've been inspired by the stories I shared today and feel more connected to the amazing community of women in motorsports. Remember, whether you're behind the wheel, in the pits, or cheering from the stands, your story matters. And together, we're driving change and celebrating every milestone. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who loves motorsports as much as you do. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for updates, behind the scenes content, and more incredible stories. So until next time, stay inspired, stay connected, and keep racing through life. This is the Women's Motorsports Network podcast, where every woman's story is worth celebrating.